Welcome to the deck of Marceau, and now with your captain, Ripper.
Muscle just waves, the fear in the past. Speed like thunder, unleash your wrath. No goal to hide, just your mind. Shells rain down in fast or fight fast. Hands up, delegates, you redefine this friends destroy your bits.
Hey team, this is Ripper. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today, get a fun video with the Marceau and with the Unbreakable Line. Let's see if it actually breaks the line, and it is in a very, very powerful destroyer. We already did a video with the Colabert, and let's see how Marceau pure gunboat action does, and see how it holds up. But as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. If you value what we're doing in here today, make sure you smash those buttons, leave a comment. Thanks for stopping by, and we can't ever thank you enough for your support. So let's get right to it. The Tier 10 Marceau, one of my favorite destroyers, still number one and the king of destroyers for highest DPM, I believe, as of right now, still in the game. That might rival Barbiano, actually, so I don't know. But for HE DPM, it's still up there. SAP DPM, probably Barbiano takes the cake, and we are going against Barbiano. He is also raced into the cap right there, and we are holding the Alpha cap while the Barbiano is holding Bravo. We have to keep an eye out on him, but it doesn't stop us from shooting battleships and having a blast do it. So what do I like about Marceau so much is the fact that, you know, obviously the guns. If you're a gunboat DD main, these things have the best HE gain guns as of right now in the game, next to Smolin. But Marceau is the only thing literally left that you can actually get. Smolin's not available anymore, but Marceau you can definitely get in the armory, and I definitely recommend it. Is a must go-to ship. And, you know, surprisingly, I don't see too many Marceaus out there lately. I don't see many people playing it, so I'm kind of curious why. But anyways, I think it's still strong. I think it's very powerful. It doesn't have the best torpedoes. Obviously, they're more YOLO torpedoes, in my personal opinion. They go out to 9 kilometers, which is farther than the Colabert. Right there, we just get slapped right there because, you know, obviously everybody wants to focus down Marceau. If you're really going into their cap, it's really difficult to tank damage because why? As you notice, there were no heals. All right, let's get back in the action here. Running from all the way back. Now, the beautiful thing about the Marceau, just like Colabert, is the fact that it has speed. Yes, it uses speed to gain a lot of its defensive capabilities because, man, this thing going about cooking about 50-something plus knots really is difficult to hit sometimes. And with the French saturation gimmick, it really can survive a lot of firepower thrown at it. And I've seen a lot of games where, man, the potential damage on this thing is incredible. But again, you want to find the best way to utilize your ship, and biggest thing is really going out there, spotting, capping, and hunting down destroyers if you can. And it's proven to be very difficult to combat against. If I ever see Marceau in any other destroyer, I'm always hesitant to really engage because really I know this thing can tank a lot of damage. Almost kind of nerfs my guns in a sense. A druid, I mean, a druid going against a Marceau is okay, but you're going to suffer a lot of damage. But again, I'm already very cautious. Splash one there. I'm always very cautious to go against a Marceau because just the amount of damage you can tank, it nerfs your kind of guns with the French saturation gimmick, and really, man, the 4 guns of just non-stop hate, and the reload on this thing is incredible, as you're seeing here in the background. So enemy team right now is struggling to get into the cap. Right now, we're going to go use our speed to get into alpha cap and take the cake. Again, always continuously looking around, figure out where are you needed, is your quick reaction required as a quick reaction force multiplier in order to ensure that your team is securing points, securing caps, and also keeping the DD threat away. So right now, I'm kind of curious where the Barbiano is. I'm not really sure. I think he died at one point. Ugamo is out there somewhere. I think he just came back on the map. And now we are capping. Again, the greatest thing I like about the Marceau is the ability to move around the map at will because of its sheer speed. I mean, I just enjoy having that 50-plus knots capability of just running around with the engine boost as well. Again, the torpedoes, as you can see right here, only go to 9 kilometers, but they're again like just, you know, French torpedoes, whatever. But they're good for YOLOing. 127 millimeter guns that pen 21 millimeters, so the basic standard guns. The shell arcs are kind of horrendous at longer ranges, past I would believe around the 12 kilometer mark, but you can still use them right here. Notice we built for gun build, so we can go out to 13.8, but going out to those 13 kilometers is proving to be difficult sometimes to aim. You just got to throw a lot of shells down range and just spray and pray and hope for the best. But at these ranges right here, about 7 to 8, man, very, very comfortable. You notice you start a lot of fires with these guns, and man, oh man, is it super strong. We are now backing into Bravo Cap. Again, the thing I like about this, you don't necessarily have to use all the speed to win right in this particular spot. You can really just hold 2 caps at once, literally sitting in this middle here, holding the cap for Alpha and then backing up and taking Bravo, and it really throws off the enemy because now your ability to move back and forth between caps is kind of simplistic. You don't have to travel as far. You can just kind of rock back and forth, shoot guns, dodge shells, give the enemy team a very, very tough time and struggles to dislodge you from the center. And that's what I enjoy about this sometimes. Sometimes it's all about, well, what kind of strategy can I do to find out where I can just hold a spot and minimize damage taken as much as possible. Notice my team is actually coming in to support GK Palmer coming in, as well as Hyo to provide backup fire support while we're going ahead and starting as many fires as possible. On the Napoli, who's trying to go in. Ooh, now the Barbiona Ugamo, the destroyers, show up as well. So now they're stopping both caps right here, so we're going to make sure we have to eliminate one by one. Splash 2 right there on the Napoli, 105,000 damage, and now we got to figure out how we're going to dislodge these 2 destroyers here. So you got to sit here and think about this. We don't want to take Barbiano one-on-one right now because we could get melted. We got GK. Ooh, now GK's firing at us, so we are still in reverse. Take a massive fire there. We'll damage con that to mitigate damage. Let's see if we can back up and help Bravo Cap. Let our other Palmer take on the GK while we use island cover to mitigate damage. Okay, Barbiano goes down, thank goodness, to secondaries, and I think we're going to go full speed out of here. Okay, we got a GK, 2 GKs coming at us right now, so we're going to have to help our Palmer out. And, ooh, let's see if we can attack this Ugamo on the right here. So we'll see if we can get an angle on him and kill him before we die. That might help dislodge him out of the cap. And now we scared him. Now he's moving forward. Now he's going to go in range of GK secondaries. All right, well, he is dislodged from the center there. We're going to go ahead and focus on GK right here. Just watch the amount of damage you can pump out just by doing a drive-by. You're doing at least 1,700, 1,200 damage every salvo. It's pretty incredible. All right, so we might have to go here. Here come the YOLO torpedoes. That's why it's so dangerous with the French destroyers. Now you're just launching torpedoes at the last minute, and then you take at least 1 battleship down. He goes down. All right, so now we just got to eliminate 1 more battleship right there. And again, we're not too worried because the speed of the Marceau can get us back into the game. All right, GK. Last GK that was in the cap is about to die. Only 22,000 left. Yeah, he goes down. Now, Illinois is the last one, but he'll be going up against Varese and Preussen. Schlieffen on our right is about to die. So the only guy... Okay, so we pretty much secured the cap right here. So now we're just going to use our gun power to get the Illinois basically out. We got Bravo Cap now. Now, once we kill the Illinois, we'll have Alpha and Bravo right here. It's still a close game, ladies and gents. It's 705 to 605. Getting a lot of firepower, a lot of damage coming out of Marceau. It's just pure gunboat damage. That's what I like about it a lot. It's so powerful in that regard, and just relies on the simplistic idea of just run and gun. Okay, he goes down. Napoli is trying to attack again, so we're going to nose in. Watch the sap shells. See, sap shells don't really do anything when you nose in right there, so very, very powerful gimmick there. And let's see if we can get inside the smoke while we're shooting. The AP is also powerful too, so if you can get good broadsides on a good unsuspecting ship, the AP on this thing, much like the Haragumo, is a very, very strong combination with 4 sets of double barrel guns. All right, there's Barbione right there, kind of flank us as well. See, look up. That's the amount of firepower he can dish out right there. Well, a couple of his salvos are there are taking about 1,200 to 2,000, so it's just not a fair competition in that regard, so we have to mitigate and just get out of dodge and just use our sheer speed to get out of town. And using maneuverability to just throw off his shells is the only other defense we have, and there it is. We finally kill him. Good thing he was already taken down a notch already, just based off of that, so we'll see if we can kill that Napoli. All right, he goes down, and now we're going to egress the area because, you know, we don't have much health left, so we got to stay alive as much as we can. We use our speed, turn back around, and I think we win the game just by killing everybody and not allowing anybody to come back in. Yeah, we take about Alpha and Bravo and pretty much secure the victory right there. So pretty much, man, this thing bullies caps. It's very, very strong, very, very powerful. Definitely recommend, and it is amazing at bullying other destroyers as well. Just got to be careful about that Barbiano because, man, that sap hurt a lot. 182,000 damage, 4 kills, 9 fires. And all right, number 4 in the team, and we do a couple of damage right there, and we did a lot of damage to the battleship. And this thing loves farming battleships. One, it attacks destroyers very well and kills battleships very well as well. Let's take a look at another video. All right, here's another game with Marceau. Ooh, I do enjoy this map where we have 2 overlapping cap points. So the best sweet spot right here I find is right, if you can see it here on the island at Bravo here, and you just hold right up here. If you can see it with my mouse, you hold right in that front island area there as a destroyer, and it really throws off the enemy a lot because you got to figure out how to dislodge this one destroyer that's literally capping both caps at the same time. And it is very interesting to see what people actually do to flank. You can actually flank from the western side of Alpha Round Island, which is a long way, or most people that they like to do is on the eastern side of Bravo, like to push in that way. So right here, look at this, taking both caps at the same time right there proves to be very, very deadly. We take Bravo, and now the main cap is at Alpha is somebody's inside here, and I can see there's a spotter plane, so somebody is in. We throw our nose just slightly out, and man, oh man, a lot of overpins right there, but man, we took a massive amount of damage, 50% down right now. Now we gotta figure out how to survive here. Brindisi fires a salvo at us. We already tanked over 353,000 damage in that first salvo wave right there. So the Brindisi's about now been scared off. Oregon is now pushing in, and we got the Bravo cap in reverse. See if we can dislodge somebody out of here. We might have to push the Oregon out, not after we scare off the Brindisi. Okay, we are permanent hydroed right now, so this is one downside, is we got to make sure that this hydro spotting here is... we got to at least have some island cover, because if they can continuously see us, they're going to continuously fire at us. So let's see if I can sneak just a couple shells right through there. It's just moving the ship just ever so slightly behind an island. And let's see if we can dislodge this Oregon, which proves to be very difficult. Marco Polo coming around the island right there. I'm worried that somebody's going to flank us at Bravo on the eastern side, so we got to be very careful in that regard. All right, what are these 2 battleships going to do? Waiting for my backup to show up. All right, we got 3 battleships that are pushing through the center of the map. We might have to use our torpedoes to take out this Palmer right here. Look at the torpedo angles, are incredible on the Palmer, so we might have to do that. All right, we're going to do a push here. We're going to actually try to make this work. So we're going to start a fire on Oregon. Meanwhile, we got torpedoes on the left just in case we're going to take out the Palmer right there. And let's go ahead and full attack on Oregon. We take out Palmer. Unfortunately, we lose to the secondary. Secondaries at that range are just too devastating. So we take out 2 battleships in the center there. Actually, only 1. We lose our Mecklenburg. So let's get back into the action right here. Delaware, Alaska are pushing in. So look at the speed. Holy cow, we ended up at 74 knots. My gosh. All right, here we go. Sheer action, gunboat action speed right here. We can also shoot and reset ships that are trying to cap. So it's a good thing to do that so that they don't ever take a cap. And that's what the powerful thing about the Marceau is. There's so much firepower that you're constantly shooting and resetting all the ships, so it's like hard for them to even cap the damn thing. So sometimes you don't even have to be in the cap to stop the cap. You can just shoot and reset the person trying to get it, and man, it just proves so difficult. Meanwhile, they're getting shot up and just being burned down the whole time anyways. Baizama goes down, GK's in the middle. We got another battleship off our left on the Marco Polo. So we got to get rid of this GK first, and then we'll focus our guns on the Marco Polo on the left. I'm saying we're not doing, sometimes we'll get a lot of non-pens here, but man, just the amount of fires that you start is more than enough with the Marceau just to burn everybody down. Again, this is like the French version of Haraguma, where Haraguma is just spitting down so much shells you can start fires, and then we do the same. Splash 2 right there, 79,000 damage. Let's get this Marco Polo out of the game. All right, Mecklenburg is supporting us, and we have an airplane. An airplane from the Delaware. That's the one. That's why they banned, Delawares and what's it called? The other one, Kearsarge from Clan Battles. I think Delaware's the only tier 10 that we can do it. That's why they ban it from Clan Battles. They don't like airplanes in Clan Battles. They even know that for competitive. Airplanes are not fair in World of Warships, so they know that because they put it away from Clan Battles. All right, we have 3 ships in the center here. Let's just get the Brindisi out first. Focus on him. Notice that the battleships are now focused on us. Brindisi goes down finally. All right, let's work on this Palmer and get him out so we can take the cap eventually. Man, this thing literally just melts ships. It's so incredible to see the HP run down with the amount of DPM you're putting out there. All right, Mecklenburg is chasing. I'm sorry, Pommern is chasing our Mecklenburg. Look at the AP right there. AP does that much damage, 2,500, and boom, he goes down. Splash 3. Taking out another battleship to secure the cap with our teammates. But the 2 battleships are now inside of Alpha, so we can utilize them to cap for us. So we're going to go out on the perimeter here and see if we can shoot these battleships and the Vaizama from the flanks. It's also incredible flanker. I'm telling you, Marceau is amazing at flanking. All right, Oregon, obviously one of those experimental ships that we just did a video on. It just doesn't, you can start with this thing with half the health, and I notice a lot of players just forget to use that heal in appropriate times. They're just starting a engagement with less health because they want to, focus on the fight or flight gimmick. But that gives us opportunities to fire. Ooh, we're going to shoot the Vaizama. He's almost dead, 3,000 HP. Switching targets back to the Oregon here. See if we can get him out. Now he's got that kind of a super-ish kind of slow heal, so we got to make sure we help our teammates kill him as fast as possible. Brindisi coming at us right off the nose, so we're going to keep nose in on the Brindisi and use our torpedoes to get him. Meanwhile, we can also kill the Trump on our right if we can get it. Oh wait, never mind. Brindisi takes a nice shot at us right there. Do 147,000 damage, and we dislodge the battleships at Alpha. Now the enemy team is taking back Bravo. Another nice struggle right here. So we're going to have to somehow push back into the center to get both caps, and that'll hopefully stop the advance here. We are winning by 290, but it doesn't stop the team from taking the caps back. And man, we're shooting the Pommers again. We keep running into this Pommer. Incredible. All right, we're trying to work our way back to the center here, fighting our way to the objective so that we can cap both caps and secure the win for our team. GK on our right just took out our Yamato, and we are about to take out to the Palmer right here. We are slow capping Alpha. We take another kill. Splash 466,000 damage. Let's take the Vaizama here. Vaizama, another experimental ship here with that burst fire gimmick. See if we can take him out. He burns very well too. I've noticed, like, even from a destroyer standpoint, it's really just burning him down, because when he's nose in, it's so hard to dislodge him with any kind of big caliber shells. He's got so much armor right there, and there's almost like the new Stalingrad, if you want to look at it that way. I view it at that point. Man, Stalingrads were back in the day were so hard to push out, and I mean, if it was nose in, man, it was like good luck trying to figure out how to get him out. The only way I figured it out was burning him down. All right, there's one fire right there. Let's see if we can get another fire going on him. All right, finally, he gets broadsided just in time by another Vaizama, ironically enough. All right, we're going to see if we can shoot AP. Let's see how much AP damage we can get off the nose. 3,400 damage. Look at the AP is incredible off a battleship. So now once he starts angle, see the reflection there? So horrendous AP angles right there. So you can see how the shells were just deflecting and just ricocheting off to the side. So that's your moment to know, hey, I got to basically shoot HE at that point. A lot of airstrikes in here, so we're basically using the DFAA to shoot down as many as we can. The DFAA is, it's there. It's good to scare off the planes. All right, we're pretty much going to win. We secured the cap. We held them off. Look at that. 197,000 damage for. I mean, totally stopping the advance of the team right there. And man, does this thing really, really hold the center? I mean, it is a DD bullier. I mean, it's so hard to get in there and dislodge a Marceau as well. It's a very, very powerful ship. Time spent about 7 minutes in the battle there. So, yeah, full game went 10 minutes. Top of the team right there. One last video and see how it pans out. Man, you got to get this ship. Marceau is so powerful. All right, last round here. This is actually TLDR. This is going to be a way to show you how you can really end the game fast in the Marceau, because it's a fast ship and then it's a bully of a ship, and you can really dislodge the enemy and just burn the place down and just secure the win so quickly. And what do you do in this situation if you're going against a Marceau, right? And here's an example of that. Going straight at the cap right there and then going right behind this island. Everybody loves going to this island as a destroyer, because it not only provides cover, but you're also capping both Alpha and Bravo at the same time. So let's see what we can do and how we can literally end the game. Like, I love trying to find ways to end games early, and it adds a little bit of thinking about what kind of strategy and how do you dislodge it. And then as the opposing enemy team, it's fun to figure out, well, how do I stop this guy from literally killing the game and breaking the Unbreakable. All right, we are inside the cap here. Capping at Bravo Alpha is being contested, so even if they can't even cap it, so we have the advantage if we take Bravo. Now both teams, okay, finally, both teams are actually using strategies to go towards this island to race, and now we have to figure out who is going to go down first and be dislodged. So right, as you can see right here, very, very difficult with the, and who is shooting us from the smoke? Okay, that's the Barbiano right there. So he's doing his darndest to really fire from smoke and cover. Now his smoke goes out, and now we can shoot back at him. He's got to get out of the effective range of our guns here. He was really trying to figure out how to sneak a couple shells in there. Really, I applaud the Barbiano. Really just trying to aim and lob shells across from us. So now we got to figure out how to survive. Here comes some torpedoes. Now we got to figure out how to survive against this Napoli push. Okay, Napoli first goes down. He tried to push and dislodge, but he was going to get flanked by literally my entire team right there. My goodness, my entire team is actually moving in unison together. Now we got to figure out how we're going to kill this Palmer and so that we can take over both caps. This one Palmer is literally preventing me from capping, so kudos on that player. All right, we've got torpedoes just in case he wants to make the push. Again, the angles of the torpedoes are incredible on the Marceau, just like Kleber, and he goes down. That's our first kill, splash one. Now we've literally taken all caps. I don't know what the enemy team is doing there. Yamato, again, still hiding behind islands. Man, some players just don't know how to play the game. That's why Yamato players are interesting a bunch. Just like Shimakaze, Yamato players just not really sure what they're thinking there. Maybe they think their sheep is so weak enough they have to just literally hide behind an island in reverse. But we're capping right here. We're taking the objective, and Brindisi is there. I mean, the enemy team is so far away. Smolensk is running away now. Barbiano is also running to the back, and this is how you pretty much scare the entire team to the point where they're running to the back of the map in an unbreakable line. Now, don't get me wrong. I think some people do just treat this like random sometimes, where they're so caught up with just trying to save their ship, they run to the back of the line and they forget playing the objective. And that's no different than randoms, too. If people forget to play the objective and just run to the back of the map, then it makes for boring gameplay. So this hopefully encourages people to actually push in and move forward, knowing that it doesn't really necessarily matter if you lose your ship. You can try again. All right, enemy team is still sitting in the back there. Brindisi's so mad right now. I've seen the same wording in randoms too. People are just constantly, push, you idiots. Why are you sitting in the A line and Bravo line? It's like, yeah, I know, man. Those players are still out there. I'm not saying that you can't get away from them. Those players are always there. Somebody fired at us. Oh, yeah, it's Barbiano still firing us right now. We're going to get some island cover. We're still alive, by the way. You can try to find ways to survive in this place, and it is sometimes interesting. So we are 671, and I think the Palmer will probably kill us with secondaries right here. Throw some torpedoes out just in case. Let's see if we can go down swinging here because no enemy player is anywhere close to the cap. And if you can actually keep advancing and push the enemy and keep them in their spawn, you really can just secure the win that way. And our points are still ticking up. The enemy is still not taking any caps yet. We got players going down left and right. We got Napoli and Palmer moving in, speeding up just a little bit here. Their Napoli is the only player pushing in right now, and unfortunately, he's probably having a bad day. Taking too much broadside. Napoli is a powerful, powerful little turtle, by the way, guys. If you play that thing, you can really hold caps. This player is just showing too much broadside. You just got to be able to nose in and know your ship and deflect as much damage as possible. Another ship, man, Brindisi taking full broadside and now taking the brunt. Another kill for us, right? Splash 3. And we are 855, and they still can't get in. And Smolensk, this is not how you play Smolensk. Too much broadside right there, glass cannon. And you're going to take way, way, way too much damage. You got to slow down, get into nose-in smoke or something, because you're going to take shots like that. Man, oh man, he goes down. Oh my gosh. Left and right nonstop getting shot at here. And it's just pretty much, here are the situations where you're just overpowering a flank and overpowering the center, and there's just no way the enemy team can come back in. So that's how you break Unbreakable Line. If you can keep the enemy literally spaced like this and you can focus fire them down, yeah, I mean, just like in any other mode, like ranked or co-op or randoms, if you can literally focus fire, and there you go, you're in the game. If you can focus fire onesie twosies coming in and the other team is not capable of working together in unison, I mean, again, teamwork makes the dream work. You can't get them together and focus fire, then you pretty much are SOL. All right, look at that in the game right there. And we didn't really do much. All we did was cap the point like we're supposed to do. 1.3 million potential damage and literally ending the game in 6 minutes, roughly right there. We only spent 4 minutes in the battle, and man, we just secured the win. And boom, we take the victory, take the cake right there, and still making money and still making HP. Again, these modes are still available for you to, pump up XP, free XP, and so forth while playing. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bill will be at the end of the video. And as always, if you see me out there, make sure you say hello. And until next time, you guys stay safe. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.